Hello and welcome to another episode of Ways to Better Living. As always, this is your host, Julio, bringing you another topic of discussion today, part 3 of dealing with the subject laws. And today we're going to be tackling the law of there's many. Which one should we tackle today? Let me say, we will tackle assault, as that's another one that have various aspects of it. So now, and mind you, with all these laws, if you notice that every single one of them got branches, though it's one, but it got branches as well, in the sense of ways to, and as we continue, you will get it at the end when I do the final summary of summarizing the whole topic. So now, in this assault cases that you had or have been involved in or whatever, you got just an ordinary assault or assault with a weapon, assault causing bodily harm, and so on and so forth. But those are like majority, the three that are out there that you hear on a constant basis. So, with that said, now, when you got, if you've ever been charged with this, you know the procedure. If you've never been charged or you've only seen it in few things like on TV, or because you will not hear much about it besides on TV. So, but what they show you on TV or tell you on TV doesn't really cover it as much for you until you've been through it, and then you understand it a little bit. Or if you study the law, mostly if you study criminal law, that's when you will come across that. So now, with that said, let's just touch off what causes one to be charged with such. Well, a lot of the time is for you to be charged as with that is pretty much a bully. That's the charge of a bully, that you bully someone, and that's what that charge is supposed to be for. But when you hear this now, it makes you start thinking, oh, so you could have charged your bully in school, which they won't let you do. But that's what a bully does: pick on you, beat you up, make fun of you. So, though mostly it's for the beating up part that the charge is as an assault, which comes from a bully. So, and now where it becomes really tricky, which can inspire another one that a lot of people tend to go for, which where the courts do miss that at the majority of the time, is another, well, it's technically not a law per se, but it's one that you have the right to defend yourself, which in the court of law you can say self-defense. And in a lot of cases, people who defend themselves get charged of that. But that's a tricky part where you will have to have the full detail for you to understand where that falls in play. But before we go further in that, let's just discuss the whole. As we already said, a bully usually is the ones that do commit this offense. So now, what with the assault with causing bodily harm, you should already know if you injure someone, whether a light injury or major aspect, that's what that is there for. Or assault with a weapon, if you use any type of object, that's what object becomes your weapon, where they add that to it. So it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have a gun or the type of weapon that when you hear weapon, that's where your mind is going. It doesn't necessarily mean that type of weapon, but any object. So even if you have a book in your hand and you use that, that book becomes the weapon that they would consider. So you have to get that part also. A lot of people tend to not think of it that anything can be a weapon, depending on how you look at that thing and what it does and how you use it. So with that said, now you understand the context of what this charge is involved on, intake of it. So now, the reason why I mentioned the self-defense, because a lot of times even with the killing case, the one that we deal with the past, that can be involved as well, but it's not as much as to this particular one, assault, because in most cases it's not people defend themselves. It doesn't get to the point where they kill the person, but they injure the person in a way of stopping them from attacking them. So, and that person end up filing charges, and that's the charge they will get. So now, with dealing with that, so if you've been in that position, and now you get put in that position where now, let's say you defend yourself and you get charged that. Now, the part where the court made the mistake is that person not getting a lawyer for themselves, because since they charge you, they automatically get the queen's representative to sit for them, as them being the one that you victimize. So now you got that. That's why they call them the crown, to fight for their case, and you, that's the actual victim, defending yourself. Now you have to go prove yourself that you're the victim. But majority, I would say 90% of the time, what happened? You that defend yourself still got found guilty of you being the one that victimized someone else. So you don't end up being the victim anymore. You become. So, and in that case, what happened? We know the ones who've been through this don't see the justice in the system, but the one who did such that the bully went to the extent of the law burned behind them, don't see the system as broken. They see it as justice was served. So it's not something that we can go too much of, because this is just a breakdown of it to let you understand. Since I've covered a lot of the other aspects in the first two, I'm not going to keep going in all the angles, but you already see this is just the breakdown of the law to let you understand how it is there, that no one will tell you. So if you've never been charged, or you don't know what all that entails, because they don't deal with it in school. You don't hear about it anywhere, but when you got charged of it, you hear it when you go to court. So that's how this law works. A lot of people might think they know about it, but they really do not. Until you face it, then you understand exactly the law that you're dealing with. So with saying this, remember what I said also, because just like I mentioned, the bully always looking for a way to make themselves look bigger. And so even if it backfired and then they charge you, then now they got the system, the court law to be behind them as well, which was something I mentioned, the law looking for this type of people in general that will continue to, because when I finish, you will understand that you cannot get rid of bully if the government is a bully, and the government is that law. It's not the ones that sitting there that use, no, the ones that sitting behind that law, they are the government. The ones that sit as a lawyer and judges, they are the government. But enough said for now. So I'll leave this with you, as we already covered this part of assault. So with this says, as always, this is your host, Coolio, saying God bless and have a lovely time.
As that, when I want.